Hey guys, what's going on? It's been some time. I just wanted to give you guys an update because certain friends were wondering why I didn't upload anymore. So here's a video on that. I'm going to update you on like the sim drifting, also on the car, maybe give you a few tips on the car out of my experience, what I think you should definitely check and do, and just give you a general update on everything. I haven't uploaded in a while. The last upload was just like a complete drift video without any like explanation, because I thought that was going to be better to look at. It's interesting. Well, to me it is. I definitely need to work on outside shots, so whenever I go drifting again, I definitely need my friend with me. His name is Robin. He has really helped me out the last time with capturing everything. So, okay, so right now I'm busy in Racetrack Builder. I'm trying to recreate the track that I went to in France. So I'm going to try to give you guys a view on what that is like, how it should look like in game. I'm working with one hand, so bear with me. I'm not capturing anything with capturing software, so this is the best view you'll get. If it looks like shit, I won't include it. But yeah, let me have a look on the GoPro or action cam. Yeah, you can definitely see that. So a couple of videos ago we went to France, the circuit of Écuyer it's called. I had a blast. The car was completely stuck. It didn't change much since then, but I have some mods laying around that I really need to include or like install. So this part right here is the most fun one. You can link it like in second gear, at least for me, and then you go down, you go up back, you go down. It's really awesome. So I'm trying to work and get this sorted so we can kind of practice the track. I would definitely like to go back, so yeah. This might be just like a small overview from top view. I try to include as much as I can, but I'm not that good at Racetrack Builder. There's not a lot of information out there. There's just a couple of videos, so yeah. Whenever I get like a real hang of the software, I might make a tutorial on how to create racetracks in Racetrack Builder and then import them to Assetto Corsa. So if you would like that, definitely let me know. There are a lot of things that you need to like know in the software to work well, or like to, how should I say, to not screw things up whenever you're working. So that's that. Another quick update, the rig is still here. I'm still drifting in VR. So I have my camera here watching me. I have a 14-bit Hall e-brake that I modified a bit. There's not a lot of side play in it anymore. The side play was crazy. So yeah, still Oculus Rift, still T300. Right now I'm using gloves. This suede steering wheel, it wore through quickly. I think I have 1,000 hours right now in the Assetto Corsa and maybe 800 on this wheel. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that's that. So if you guys would like to still like have some content to watch, definitely go over to Twitch TV / Social Saint TV, I think it is. I'm not sure. I'll try to include it in the description. Holy shit, man. Nou wil ik wel eens een beetje bekijken, zie? Daar gaan we eens een beetje moeten bekijken. Want ik heb niet zien in VR hoe dichter dat we, maar ik zou je wel naar links halen en naar noorden zat.
Ja, het was heel wat moeilijk.
Also, a couple of years back, 2 or 3, I was really into RC drifting, but didn't really have the correct chassis for it. It was a fake Sakura D4, which was complete in plastic, so this one should be a little bit better. It's a Eagle Racing TT02. It has complete like gold alloy upgrades. I bought this off of a friend that I met 2 or 3 years ago at the drifting spot, like the RC drifting spot. So yeah, we're definitely going to start over again in the RC journey. I really liked it. It is kind of like for the people out there who have drifted on 5M or like GTA 5, the modded ones. It's kind of like that because you don't really have to steer a lot. A lot of the steering stuff is done by the gyro or the gyro, whatever you call it. So it's an accelerator game most of the time. You need to like get the hang of when you should throttle, when not. So really enjoy this. So I will try to also upload some content on that whenever I can, because 2020. This is my desk where I work at from home. I'm going to eat something and then we can go over the car and maybe give you guys some tips and tricks and also just like an update on the car in general. It's been a while, so you guys deserve that. Yo, what's up guys? We're a little bit later in the day, so I'm in my garage right now. Sorry for the lighting. I'm not opening the garage door for better lighting. It's pretty much freezing outside. This is my 92 325i, which you might have seen in the drift video. So if you're interested, I'll just go over the car quickly. I have the hood open right here. I'll grab a flashlight. Basically nothing much changed since last time I installed the strut brace. The engine is completely stuck. This is the M50 B25 non-Vanos engine, which you could compare to like a non-VVTi 1JZ. Just the Vanos explication. This is definitely not a 1J, it has no turbo. Anyway, so it has a pair of HSD Dual-Tech coilovers in front. I have a K&N inlet filter in the car right now. The sticker is on there, not to brag or to flex, it's just to remind myself that I can wash it, that I don't need to buy a new one. So that's that. I'll go over the interior quickly. So the back is gutted, there's nothing in it anymore. To try to get some weight reduction, since I had some trouble drifting like the first time that I drifted. It has Sparco sprint seats in them. That's an older one, this is a newer one. I have Sable 6-point harnesses installed. I also have a Sumbitch Racing e-brake extension in there. Which I don't really have feedback on yet. It works, but I haven't drifted it enough to see if the pads wear or not, because this is not a hydro, this is using the original parking brake or e-brake. It has a 90mm deep dish drift shop steering wheel. So that's that. On the back, onto the back, it's got it. I still need to work on the insulation. I'll do that today, I think. It's a tedious job. It doesn't peel off well. I need to uninstall the OEM seat belt, so the B-pillar plastic needs to come off so I can install an eye bolt right there on the opposite side to install a harness. That's coming in soon. So the seat belts are just installed with eye bolts in the default rear seat position, and then I drilled a hole right there, and then there's another 2 holes in front for the submarine belts. I'll show that quickly. This was a pain, so I'm not sure if you can pick this up, but I had to drill and almost hit a hard line. I'll show you when the car is up. It was a bit cringy, not gonna lie. Trunk isolation is gone. Soundproofing is gone. It's completely empty. It just has the back seat just to try to get as much as weight out of the car. Still battery in the right side of the rear. I would eventually like to get it in the middle so it's balanced. Then onto the story why I have monopros in the rear right now. So when I bought the Dual-Techs, I didn't have a lot of money because I just bought the car. Dual-Tech HSD coilovers are like the, how should I say, it's not the cheaper version, but it's not a cheap version, but it is a cheaper version than the Monopros. So what happened was my right back shock from the Dual-Tech set was leaking. When you pushed in the shock, it didn't come out and it was leaky, so a seal went bad. Contacted Driftworks. They said that they didn't have the E36 shocks for the Dual-Tech set in stock. So what they told me that I was going to get a Monopro set of shocks. So I was stoked because that's in under warranty and it's a better version, so I didn't have to pay. It was a free upgrade. But then they said that it was going to be a set of E90 shocks. So right now I'm running E90 shocks, and as you can see, stiff as shit. Do you agree, my dog? I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm putting my full weight on it and the car is not going down. So I'm not that stoked on that. The stiffness, like the 16 step, 32 step, I'm not sure what it is, but it is fully adjusted to the left, so we should mean that it should be at its softest. But yeah, it is not really going down by any means. So yeah, today I'm going to do a bolt check, install these rings into my Style 66 wheels right here, 17 by 8 ET20 or 22. I'm going to have a look at my rear axle bolts that bolt into the diff cups. These strip out really easily. And then I have the short shifter, not sure if I'll do that today. Then of course, let's not forget about the angle kit. This is something that I'm waiting to do because I'm waiting for toe plates. These are E36 lower control arms, cut and extended by 25 millimeters. So what this does is it lengthens the width of your track, and then of course there's these are cut knuckles. OEM knuckles come to right here, so this pickup point for the tie rods comes to right here. So let's say if a tie rod could go to here, if that's like a stock knuckle, that would mean that the knuckle would turn to right there. So that's full lock. If you cut it off and re-weld it closer to the pivoting point, if you have the same length, so if we would go right here, you see there's much more angle. So that's like kind of my explanation of this. Whenever this pickup point comes closer to here, you have more angle for the same amount of tie rod length. Isn't that right, Mr. Floofy? He's going crazy. If he sees light reflection, he's like a kitty cat. Okay, on to working on the car, guys. If I have some tips or tricks, I'll put them in this video. See ya. One important thing that I forgot, the differential. I have a welded 3.73 diff in there. That is not a ratio that we can get over here in Europe for a medium case diff. The first diff that I had in here was stock 3.15 open diff, and then I switched it up to a welded 3.15 diff. And if you have a 325i and very like small tracks, that doesn't like work together. So it is an important thing to talk about. What most people do in the UK, and I'm not sure if they do it here, but we switch over from medium case diff to small cases, because in the small cases you have higher ratios, like the 4.1, the 4.4, maybe even 391, I'm not sure at the top of my head, but so I have a 373 diff that comes from Germany. A guy made it there. Our highest ratio here in Europe for a medium case diff is so you have the 2.93 and then you also have the 3.15, which I already had, and it didn't work. So I couldn't skid in second gear. It only did first gear, definitely with these tires and these wheels. So switched it up to the 373. It works a lot better for like medium tracks. If I could, I would definitely even go like to a higher ratio, maybe 391, but that probably wouldn't change a lot. So it would more go to like a 4.1 or a 4.4. So that's the information for you guys. There will be a tip on the front bolt as well. I hate that bolt. I'm under the car right now, so this was a tip that I would like to give to you guys. So this right here is the front diff bolt. Definitely, if you are doing a nut and bolt check, always check if this bolt, and also these ones right here and right here, the ears of the diff, always check these. So I will check this right now if this is tight. The last time this wasn't tight, I didn't check it. I went for a drive, this one snapped off, my diff fell onto the diff carrier, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but you'll have to look at it from the right angle, and also I sprayed on it. So if this drops, the drive shaft is just laying in there and it's flopping everywhere. It's the craziest noise ever. So definitely a tip for you guys, if you're checking the bolts, definitely check this one, and just for sakes of doing it, check this one as well. You probably need to drop the ARB, the anti-roll bar, but that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm glad I checked everything, because I'm going to hold the light. This one from the lower camber arm was completely loose, so I tightened that one. Checked the rear shocks, the one that bolt to the knuckles. Checked the subframes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Checked this one as well. Checked the lower camber arm here. Checked if the brake calipers were still on there. Same thing for there, the brake calipers as well. I checked the diff case because it looked like that it was a little bit oily, so I tightened that. Still need to wipe it down and see if it still leaks. Might be the gasket. I didn't put a gasket on there. I just used some, let's say, RTV. I'm not sure what it's called. It's like a quick gasket kit, whatever it is. It's liquid. So next up is dropping ARB, checking my diff ears, if those bolts are good, and then onto these ones. So these ones are the ones that I was talking about, that I have laying right there on the trash can, because these strip out crazy. As you can see, this one is stripped pretty much. So I'm going to have a look if the ones that I've ordered are the same as these, and I'm going to swap out the most like broken ones, because there are some in here that look okay. So I'm going to look at these bolts and take out these that are like pretty rough and put in new ones if those are the same thing. I also checked these, the top ones of the camber arm. I still need to check these upper arms if those are bolted correctly, and then I pretty much did the whole rear except for the top struts of the shocks. So that's up next, and then I'll go into the interior. I also need to check if my drive shaft is still completely bolted onto the front of the diff. And yeah, that's that. Alright, so the front diff bolt is torqued to spec with the torque wrench that is right there. The rear ones as well, so I can hook up the anti-roll bar again. I will be doing that in a couple of minutes. So just to tell you guys how much of a pain this is if this bolt snaps, I'm just going to go over the story that happened to me, so you know to check this bolt. So right here you can see that the bolt now is like, it is a bit out of the diff casing, which with an OEM bolt is not the case. So if this backs up, so let's say this was flush now, so it wouldn't be sticking out. If this backs up just a little bit, so you cannot like put any pliers on there, and the bolt backs out and it snaps, it is just in your diff casing. So that's what happened to me. I will put some pictures on screen. I don't know, it took me I think 2 days or something, with like large breaks of course, but to get the bolt out, that bolt right there, and I'm glad that it didn't really break the threads. So I had to drill through, I had to saw, I did everything. You can even see that at some point I drilled here into my diff casing itself, because I was going to put through an even longer bolt so I can actually nut it up right here, but it ended up not being long enough to put a nut here. So yeah, that's why it's still like that. Okay, so I will put the anti-roll bar back up. Still have to change out the bad ones. Also The diff was leaking a bit, so I torqued everything up to spec again. I will wipe it off and see if it still leaks next time I check this. Otherwise, I'll have to take the diff out and reseal the gasket. Push! Come on! Almost there!
Baby out! And push baby back in.
Yes! We are here. Okay. Right. I replaced the E12 bolts that needed replacement. I'll show you in a second why they needed replacement. So this is still an old one. These are new ones. I left one old one here and a couple of old ones there. Torqued them up to spec. Torqued the front bolt up to spec. Checked my drive shaft bolts, those were okay. Diff ears are bolted to spec. The ARB is back installed. So, oh yeah, maybe I forgot to mention, so the diff now also has red strong flex bushings, which are the weaker ones. I think the yellow ones are stronger ones. So I have not only the subframe bushings but also the diff bushings in right now. Okay, take me out of here. Mr. Pussy. Right, so didn't get to the short shifter, didn't change anything in the interior, but this is the part that I wanted to show you guys. So these are the E12 bolts. As you can see, they are butchered. This is what they are supposed to look like. So whilst trying to torque them to spec, which is 74 foot-pounds torque for the M10s, so take note if you have M8, this doesn't apply to you. I kept stripping the heads off, so as you can see, they're pretty bad. This one is a little bit better than the rest. I'll take this one and this one closer to the light so you can get a view of it. But as you can see, like, the head is shifted. These bolts suck. I'm not sure why they used these ones, but this is the replacement that I put in. As you can see, a whole lot better. So every bolt that I couldn't get to 100 Newton meters or 74 foot-pounds of torque, I just undid them and fitted these. So I have a couple left. I think I have 4 in total of the newer ones, so that's always good. I left 4 of the older ones in there. They were okay, so I changed them. And then I'm going to have a look at these and maybe keep 1 or 2, but they all seemed like they're pretty much all gone, so not sure if I'll keep these. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to put these on the shelf. I also still have to put in this. I'm not sure if it's actually recommended to do this or not. This will take the rev limiter from I think 6,800 to 7,000 or 7.2. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's there on the shelf. I still have to put the lollipop eccentric bushings in for the extended lower control arms, but as I said before, I'm waiting on toe plates. So angle kit install might be coming soon, short shifter install maybe as well, and then a little bit of interior work. I'm not sure when I'll do this. It's a tedious job, as I mentioned. So anyway, that was pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the update. See you guys later. Peace out.